Hello, everybody! Welcome to Level Up Circle TV. Okay, I'm off my rocker today, okay? I just woke up, so I don't know what to tell you. I'm tired. Um, I gave Cheerio a bath, and then after I gave her a bath, we both fell asleep. So that's that. And then I just woke up like, oh, I don't know, an hour ago, maybe 45 minutes ago. So, yeah, that's where we're at. But tonight is a special evening because we're going to talk about continuing our mission here at Level Up, which is the world, level up the world through education. And I wanted to tell you that tonight is going to be kind of talking not just an anthology, but really an extension of my conversation about Abilene Paradox. If you haven't seen it or haven't really joined our Dynamic Village audio room, we have an audio room on LinkedIn at 7:30 in the morning PST all the way to 9 a.m. PST. The reason I actually have that it's because I wanted to extend the conversation that we usually have in our live, but we can't really interact right with anybody and hear their voice, right? It's actually a different type of um, rooms that you've been into. And I got a DM today like, hey, by the time I remember what I was going to say, I kind of forgot because your wait time is long. And I get that. And I do that actually on purpose. Most of the time when we go in audio rooms and something trigger the words that we want to participate, so we raise our hands up and then we talk, right? We're busy thinking about what we're going to say rather than getting it, the whole entire conversation. And I want to reverse that. I want you to pay attention to the conversation rather than paying attention to your own thoughts because a village is about everybody, not you, not just me, not just Susana, not just Danielle. It's everybody. And you don't have to prove to anybody, not to us or anybody, if you're in the room or not. I see you. I take pictures. Who's in there, actually? So I got you, right? And the most important thing is you're adding to the conversation. Um, and some people show up for 2 3 minutes to listen. Some people actually are there the whole entire time. And either way, that's support. It doesn't matter. I see you, right? Our friendship will never be dependent upon if you're getting up to talk or not. It's the constant support. And if you're doing something good for the community, you're fine, right? And so that is the reason why I wanted to extend that conversation a little bit tonight, also in that Abilene Paradox conversation. Remember, if you don't know what it is, it's literally about organizational behavior, right? That describes a situation where a group of people collectively decide on a course of action that contradicts each and every person in that group. But no one says nothing about it because they do not want to communicate to each other that this is not what I want, because you don't want to counter the group's wishes. So you just went along with the decision, right? And then what happens? You are miserable. You complain after the fact. You know who you are, right? When you do Abilene paradox, when you're in the moment, you don't like something, say something. Don't say after the fact, because it cannot get corrected after the fact. In this Abilene paradox, I put it as a conversation because we have another anthology, my sister and I, and we want every single author to be happy with their chapter. If you're not happy with your chapter during the chapter creation, you need to take accountability for your own misery. If you're miserable about your own chapter, no one told you to write that chapter. So make sure you speak up, not after the fact, but during. So we're going to do a lot of that tonight, and make sure that you guys know if you're not happy with something, that don't just go along with it and then complain later on. It's called Abilene Paradox, okay? So that is what it is. Now, I do want to invite you our book for Rebel with a Cause. It's still there. It is available now in physical form. It is the #1 international bestseller on Amazon. And the people who are in this are amazing people. I created a chapter just for Jess Harvey and some of the friends that she had during her days with us, right? Right here on LinkedIn, to share that we love her. Her mom actually wrote at least a sentence or two for everyone, right? Her message to everyone. And I have written here, Susanna has a little bit of blurb, Mike Asher Brenner, obviously our sister Danielle, Harsha, Michelle Ramos, Keith Cooperman, Willie J, Ross Hedge, Kinga, Jackie, Jen Lind, Ollie, and Dr. New, Marlene, and Gabe. And I know that I didn't actually see after the fact already. Timothy Gleason, or another brother from Down Under, actually wrote something for Jess, and I didn't get to add it here. So I want to make sure that I recognize that he did write something, and I just didn't see it after I've already redid the chapter. So that is the reason why his is not there. But that is what we are doing, is we're helping other people, first time writers and also seasoned writers, to come together, write in their own legacy about being a rebel. And it's not just a book or an anthology, this is a movement that we need to continue to keep going. Also, this is my new book, solo book, Mike to Millions, the ultimate guide to starting your podcast with impact. This is a journal book. I'm going to write a series on these probably every year, maybe twice next year. I'm not sure. I'm going to be writing, what? This is going to be, what? Is this our fifth book? This is my fifth book because this is 4 anthologies and a solo. So I will end the year with 5 books this year, and my goal is to have 10 next year. So good luck to me. I'm gonna have 10 books next year, maybe 5 solo or a couple solos that I want to write, and maybe journals, and also academic publishing, and obviously our 4 anthologies every year and 4 magazines every year. But I'm so thankful that Mike to Millions in 24 hours made it a top new release and a #1 top new release on Amazon. Thank you. If you are wanting to do a podcast, I'm using this journal right here for our membership. I have membership. If you go to levelupwithdoc.com under podcast circuit, I'll put the QR code tonight if you wanted to sign up for a membership. Um, the free membership is selected people only right now. And just to let you know, if you get deleted off the forum, I don't need to explain to you why you got deleted, really, quite honestly. I will have a guideline in there, meaning you have to be active, right? This is something that I put my time and resources in it. So you need to be respectful of that. I'm sick and tired of people taking advantage of freebies. And just because it's free doesn't mean that it's really nobody's time wasted, right? So I don't have to explain myself. If I see that you're not following the guideline, I just return that energy to sender. That's all I'm saying. But if you are wanting to work hard, wanting to know how to do podcasting, I have two membership and I will send you guys to that membership. And it's very affordable. And then the good news is that I will be your producer and you will be on TV to produce your own show one time after 3 months of continuous membership, right? And you can get your own people. You can interview their own people. I'll help you how to words that and questions that and all that good stuff. Now, before I bring up my sister, I also wanted to go over that we have October 19th here in San Diego, and it's about servant leadership. I will be doing a workshop. I'll also have a giveaway for you guys. Speaking of Jess, this notebook, remember, Rebel with a Cause, all the proceeds actually go to a nonprofit. This one right here is a notebook. This is not the book. This is specifically for Jess autism. So it is a notebook that I created just for Jess, and the cover is Rebel with a Cause because she was the second person to sign up for Rebel with a Cause anthology. And then, of course, our magazine. It's coming up next week. Yes, it is. So these are transformative leaders that are coming in. And then I also want to tell you and invite you for Russ. He is going to New York. If you want to sponsor live stream for Russ, it is for his journey to New York. All right. See if I miss anything. Did I miss anything? If I missed anything, I apologize. Two things. Mike Eschebrunner, Hounds of Business Community. Go ahead and DM the bro. Just say, hey, CJ sent me. And he's also revamping his guideline for his community. And he doesn't have to answer to anybody either, right? He pays every single month for his community and works hard. So if you get booted out, he doesn't need to explain to you why. It's his space. And if you guys don't like it, guess what? Create your own space. Stop complaining. Okay. My sister, look at that smile. I'm gonna have to update this picture, sister. Yeah, you had a glow up, a summer glow up. And she's gonna have her own speaking uh, business, and I cannot wait for you guys to actually involve and hire her for your organization. And that's why we're writing this anthology together. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
Sister, let's talk about this anthology. I have a surprise for people actually. For the Beyond Boundaries people, you know what it is. But for us, I have a surprise for later on for Beyond Boundaries. But let's talk about the book, the anthology that we're doing. Open it up.
The new one. And it's going to be a lot of fun because
Keep talking. Okay, I'm gonna go to this. They can hear you. Go ahead.
I know, I know, I know how it goes because that is the book cover. Um, we talk about belonging. I talk about belonging so much. It's part of everything I talk about. Move beyond boxes, being authentic, reinvention. Well, belonging. This is a world where people tend to have difficulties finding a place to belong. There's just so much going on, and technology is in the way. It really is because how many people are walking around just on their cell phones, focused on the phone, think they're connecting with people, but it's all through the air. There's no substance to those connections. Um, Finding that belonging, it's why we designed the cover the way we did. It has a huge purpose in that design alone, focused around not only belonging, but the fact that we'll go against the basically the world's going against us in many ways because if we don't conform, if we don't fit in, which I mean, think about every time you tried to fit in someplace. You tried to fit in, you're contorting yourself to get into a box. Usually you're being something or somebody that you're not at your core. About who you are at your core, we have lots of reasons to hide it. If you're neurodiverse, we tend to want to hide being neurodiverse. Like, yes, I have ADHD, and so don't many others. Yet we'll hide it because we're afraid of how people are going to look at us, how they're going to treat us. So we have that aspect of the world is resisting us when we try to be our authentic selves. Yet, what I love about what we've done with this, going against the grain, when we step up and be our authentic selves, when we move beyond the boxes, we ignite our awareness, we take control and find the places where we belong, the people we belong with, where we can be vulnerable, where we can be open and safe to talk about anything, to say this is my past, and it's received without judgment, without being looked down upon or negatively. This is resisting the world, because the world wants to box us up, and if you're a certain way, they want to see it as a negative. So the minute that we step back and say, I'm being myself, that's how it's going to be, and I'm going to find my communities, that's how it's going to be, that's how this cover got designed. That is resisting the world. So when I say against the grain, belonging in a world of resistance, quite often the world's resisting us, but we're resisting them to be ourselves and to find those places, those people we belong with. And remember, you don't have to belong with a whole bunch of people. It only takes one to start, and then two. And then you think about how big that inner circle is going to be, because that inner circle, that is the core. So right now, my inner circle is only three.
Two.
Well, I'm okay. I'm counting myself as part of that.
Unless you count Chi Chi as your inner circle.
Chi Chi, Coco,
Duke, Athena, Oh my gosh.
but that's what it is. And when we created, I mean, it took us a while to create this cover,
Doesn't matter.
but
We did it.
that cover, it really fits when you look at it and you think about what we're representing so much in that little cover. It's perfect.
Yeah. And so here's what I wanted to address this because I had 5 people DM me saying, "Hey, I really want to be part of the collaborations of your anthology. But how many books have you written?" And I didn't even count it. I was like, I think 7. Like I just think about anthologies and some journals and things like that, but like notebooks, the skills. Forget about the whole book, for example, all the accolades that goes with it. Just think about the skills that I have gained, experiences of writing journals and articles and academic publishing and master thesis and things like that, and being a committee, to switching to journals on this. Like, for example, this Mike to Millions, right? It's going to be a series because I give you prompts on each one of these to ask yourself to go dig deeper. So even if you don't become a member to Mike to Millions podcast circuit, you can buy the book, right? It's right there is a QR code, and go with it with yourself. Ask yourself these questions and really dig deep. And by the time you're done with asking these questions, there are 3 parts in here to actually go with how to podcast, right? So these are some of the experiences that Susanna and I bring. And this is just even mine. Susanna has her own books too. And I counted, I'm like, I think everything all around with like different languages in one of them, like 5 or 6 different languages. I think about 16. And I was like, "Ooh, okay. By the time I die, maybe I can write 80 books." I don't know yet. Like, so I'm like, next year I'm doing 10. I don't know if I'm gonna do it, but I'm manifesting it. That's my goal, right? 10. But not articles, but books and journals. And so it's possible, but we also want to make sure that it's quality, not quantity, right? The reason being is that there's no point of writing in so many anthologies and your writing is right? And also I got asked, what's the difference between you and other anthologies out there? There's quite a bit of them. There's this topic and that topic and this topic and that topic. And I said, that's a great question. And the reason that I asked that is because the quality of editing, the quality of experience that you have with each leader is different. Just like when you go to work. Why do you want to go for Google when you can work for Apple? They're different, right? And so it really just depends on how you connect with the anthologies that you're doing. The big difference with us is because we have in-house everything when it comes to marketing. The point of doing anthology is legacy and impact. If you want to impact your community locally, yeah, you can definitely do that. If you want to impact the world, then you definitely go with us, because the reason for that's because we have access to everything. Everything you can possibly think of, we have access to. That is the big difference with our anthologies, right? And Against the Grain, Belonging in a World of Resistance is really about, if you are passionate, okay, about exploring your transformative power of belonging amidst resistance. Meaning, put it this way, everyone wants to belong. It's human nature to want to belong. But I've seen friends that they want to belong in this group and that group and this group and that group, right? And then they get burned here, burned there, burned there. It's because you don't know your values. You don't know your moral compass yet at an alignment. If you know who you are and what you want, you would want to run away from other people here on LinkedIn. Believe me. And I've kept my mouth quiet, but I'm going to keep him quiet because I want
Mhm.
you to experience the bads and the good so you can see what the good look like versus the bad looks like, right? And in a world where conformity, it's still trying to conform, right, often overshadows individuality. And we want you to be an individual that seeks to illuminate your journey towards that alignment, towards that what is normal. Nothing is normal. It's okay to be not normal. Who wants to be normal? That's too boring anyway, sister, right? But empower the voices of defiance, empower and celebrate those resilience that you have every day. And belonging, think of it as not just a group, but do you belong to yourself? When you think about yourself and where your time spent, your piece of this and your piece of that and your piece of this, you lose yourself. So first is you. You need to belong to yourself before you belong to any other group. Sister, can we talk about the structure, because we're doing the anthology differently this time? Let's start with that.
We are doing it, and I'm gonna add one other thing because you've got your 16, and I've got 10 since July, but I keep forgetting that actually I have one more that was in 2003 because my thesis is actually sitting in the library at the university. And I do have one article that got published too. So it's like, I know you got more than that.
Yeah,
but
I'm not gonna talk about articles. That's
but
academic. Yeah.
the structure of this, how we're going to go about this, which part do you want to start with?
Start from the very beginning. Like, who are we looking for to author with us in scholarship, meaning for free?
Okay, so when we talk about those who are going to have that opportunity to work with us for free, it will be anybody who has not written in one of our anthologies. So anybody who is written in our anthologies are not eligible for the scholarships at this point, because our focus is, if we're going to level up, we're looking to bring in new authors, people we haven't worked with before, to give them the opportunity to work with us. So we're going to focus, even when we do the raffles and stuff. Um, if it's somebody that's already written, then we will run it again. When somebody gets that opportunity, and that's why I'm saying opportunity, they're not automatically in. We've seen this with a lot of people who they've had that, they've gotten that scholarship, they get in, and it's they're not quite sure what they're going to do. There's a lot of floundering, can we say? So before we award a scholarship, we're going to ask for a simple framework on the potential chapter that they're going to write. We want an idea as to what the intro is, what they're going to talk about, what's their focus, and what are they looking at for the main takeaway that's intended for the reader from that chapter. And this can be like, we're only looking for 300-400 words, enough so that we get that taste. We have an idea as to their writing and where they're going with this before we finally award a scholarship. And then we want that idea of what they're thinking for their chapter, and then we require a commitment to support the marketing campaign. We don't treat differently anybody between those who paid and those who didn't free. We don't see that with people. We see what they write, who they are, how they're doing, and we expect everybody to be involved with. I mean, this is a joint book, so everybody's involved with the marketing and what's happening and how it's going. That's what we're looking to have happen, is that commitment that you're not just there for free. You put in your time, give us a chapter, get it edited, make changes, and off you go, and hope that you end up with a number one international bestseller, because we never guarantee it. We want that commitment from everybody, everything they can.
I'm trying to type the requirements. So here's what we're doing. We're just talking about the scholarship. Obviously, if you're a repeat authors for us, we love it. We give you $100 off. You guys already know that because we love our repeat authors. But I think we're gonna level up our standards in terms of anthology. We always want to be in the blue ocean, not in the red ocean. Way too many anthologies going on. And we want to do anthologies also one at a time, meaning that if you are in another anthology, we do not recommend working with us. The reason being is that uh, we want to have quality of your thoughts within our anthology. Our turnaround time is not as fast as other people who writes on the weekend where it's like 24 hours it's done. We don't do that. Um, we also don't want you to be in multiple anthologies because we want you to focus on our anthology, especially for marketing purposes and also copyright issues. Sometimes your thoughts bleed from one anthology to the other. And we've seen marketing very low to some people. And that part of being in a group, paid or not, I don't care if you pay us or not, we treat you the same, so we would like to be treated the same with the marketing. You don't have to say anything, your actions speak louder than your words. We see if you're promoting other anthologies more than the anthologies that you belong to us. We don't really like that type of attitude. We're done with it. We're done with all the negative crap that you guys put out. And I see you, and I see some people picking up our authors also to befriend. I've seen those. So we want quality people. If you want to be on other people's anthology, you are more than welcome to go for it. But we want our anthology to really give it your all, to make an impact. This is for the future, not wishy washy type of anthology. I'm writing it, I'm editing it. No, we want to make sure that we can be here for each other as a group. So, also intellectual property. I've read some anthologies that kind of similar thoughts on other people's anthology, and you're on that thin line, and we don't want to knock on your door with any cease and desist letter, literally. So we want to welcome everybody in the writing for passion, writing for legacy, writing with good energy and good intentions. And we want to welcome everybody. Like Matt is always here. Matt, I would love for you next weekend. Is it next weekend? Are we doing next weekend, sister, or are we doing it before
No, the following weekend.
October? Yeah, so in October, I
October.
would
So
want
it's
you
the
to
four,
come.
the four Sundays in October.
Yeah, and apply because we haven't worked with you, and so you would definitely be qualified to come and join us for your writing, and we want to impact and legacy. Like for example, I'm going to be spending really good money on my own resources for the Rebel with a Cause because I'm about to put their names in like between 200 to 1400 SEO backlinks for my author, right? I do things like that on my projects for my authors. And it just breaks my heart that the same level of integrity and the same level of energy that I put out is not met that way. I'm not expecting it, but at least like that level of respect when it comes to being part of the group, right? Um, and I see it that like little slight weird energy, we don't want that. We want good energy. We want good people who wants to expand their reach in the globe, and we want that for you. But you also have to want it enough for our community that you want to represent yourself, but also represent the community of your work, right? Anything you would like to add on that one, sister?
Uh, that's the work. The other thing is, as we look at the chapters,
Mm-hmm.
well, number one, we're very big on no chat GPT, no AI writing, because it has to be from your own writing. It has to be your own thoughts. Anything you do from AI, you really have to go in and verify that what it's saying is even right when you research. So no chat GPT to write your chapter. And we only take one chapter version at a time. So those who try to submit two different chapter versions, it's like, which one do you want? Don't ask me, it's your chapter. You tell me which one you want to submit. And then after you've submitted it, there may be some significant changes during that first edit process, but after that, there should not be anything really different after that. So by the time we see the final version, we should already know it. We should have seen most of it, and it's just a cursory going through it, just making sure the grammar's right, making sure it's all formatted right, and it should be ready. It should not be a whole new chapter that we sit back and go, where did this come from? I don't remember reading this.
Um, I was just looking at my notes on like for this anthology and who we're looking for to partner with. I was saying like we want diverse perspectives,
Mhm.
compelling narratives, and stories that capture that essence of resilience and belonging. And remember, guys, that we have the ability to go to major distribution, but it's a group democratic way of doing it. It costs money. Beyond boundaries, I paid for my own money, and it cost a lot of money to put it in there. But we know how to do it. So if you want a solo book, like you have the money and the time, nothing is free in this world. We do it for free because we want to give back to the community. And we want to expand our scholarship to everybody, not just within our circle, right? We want to create that village, the bigger village of the world in the global community. So if you know a friend who has a really good story, you want a good story of belonging and how belonging help with mental health. Think about it. If you have bad friends and you don't have a support, you're already going through your own adversity and you can't talk to anybody else. That's going to actually affect your health and productivity at work. So belonging is not just for individuals. Belonging is for everybody, for corporate, for, for your friendship, for your support, for your LinkedIn family, for this, for that. What I do want to tell you is I warned you that there's a lot of vultures on LinkedIn. Watch for them. I don't need to tell you who. You'll figure it out. You're smart. Um, just open your eyes, follow them. Remember my discussion today, how to be a good leader, you need to be a good follower. When you are a good follower, it's nothing wrong with being a good follower. In fact, you're smart to be a good follower because you extrapolate. I'm a good follower. I extrapolate everybody's information, synthesizes it in my head, and then poof, born with whatever I can come up with, right? That's a good follower. You're extrapolating information that's good for the community and you're giving it back to the community. What's a bad follower is recording everybody else's thoughts and then doing the same thing as everybody, like yours. That's intellectual property issues. Let's not do that, right? And don't be afraid of AI. A lot of people are like, "Oh my god, da, 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 da." No, this is why we like to write in our own voice and not use ChatGPT. We have a couple authors, I think, that use ChatGPT, and it's really disheartening that they don't listen to what we're saying. Um, and it's getting sick and tired of like editing. I know that it's not because you're not able to connect that emotions, right?
Right.
And I want to also emphasize Kinga's post today about what did she talk about, like leadership. If you're a leader out there who basically have a good experience on belonging, we invite you to write for that, right? It doesn't have to be a personal journey, it could be your own organization as a leader in your own experience. What are your thoughts on that, sister?
Well, I was just going to add that in because one of the things, I mean, I talk about this and look at working with organizations in terms of the organizational environment. Is it one of belonging? And if it's not, how to get it there. So when we've talked about this with every anthology we've done, is having that business aspect to it. Once you're done, we leave the rights in the hands of the authors
Mm-hmm.
because you can turn around and your chapter, after it's been published, you can take that, you can self-publish it, use it for your own marketing. It can be something. It can almost be like your own case study in some aspects as you're building your own business. So you have that business aspect, and then I'm also looking at belonging in terms of, like CJ said, that business focus, because belonging means you're no longer covering. Belonging means you're in a place that's safe and you can be your authentic self and engage with others as your authentic self and not worried that people are going to say, oh, you're whatever, and make you feel bad and judge you for it, because that's not what it is. And in fact, what a lot of people don't understand when it comes to belonging, all we want to do is drop the masks. That doesn't mean that we want to sit there and tell everybody all the stuff that was hiding behind the mask. It just means if we don't wear the mask, it means we don't have to talk about it, but we don't have to fear that others are going to come in and judge us
Yeah.
who we really are.
Yeah, we don't want that judgment. Mike, you just jumped the gun, bro. He's like, "Don't we plant trees too?" Yeah, that was my. I didn't even tell Mike about this. It's so crazy how he knows. He just knows my vibe. um, yeah, so basically for everybody, I know Crystal was in Beyond Boundaries and she was the only one who got the tree at that time for the certificates because it was quite expensive to do it as a Level Up Academy forest. To buy the tree is like 12 to 15 bucks, really. But as a company to have a forest, it was a lot of money and it took all my money that I got from the book to actually do this. So everything that I get from the book is usually back to the community always. But I wanted to plant trees. And so if you look in here, it says Level Up Academy by Doc Leland. We have 28 trees planted. And then you're like, isn't there only 27? I'm like, I know, right? So we actually had 25.2 tons of CO2 that we give out for Beyond. This is for Beyond Boundaries, and I was hoping for Madagascar, and someone gifted me with starting a forest in Honduras, guys. So we have two, and then we hired almost 4 hours working hours created for each of these um, trees planted all over for the farmers. So we not only we hit five. I'm so happy. We hit five UNESCO um, goals, right, for United Nations on there. So there's the Madagascar. That's where our forest is. So Beyond Boundaries, people, I'm gonna give you your certificate soon. So watch out for those. I'm waiting for them to give me my certificate for all of you. So we have a forest in Madagascar, and now we're starting in Honduras. So thank you, Mike, for bringing that up. And that's what we do at Level Up Academy. It's not just us, 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 us. It's about the community, right? And so, yeah, thank you for bringing that up, bro. And for Rebel with a Cause, it's nonprofit for mental health for the books, and then the journal is for autism. Sister, how about um, people when they're thinking about, okay, I want to write on this book? Where should I start?
Where you should start is contacting us, either of us. Get a hold of us, tell us you're interested. We will have everything is going to start. We're going to open the author's call on the 1st of October. So at that point, then the website will be up. We'll have the QR codes and the places to scan for payments to join the anthology. We'll start really promoting it at that point. I mean, we're gonna start talking about it now, just to generate like we are right now. And the author's call takes place during the month of October. So on Halloween, as the kids are out getting their trick or treats, and if you're not dressed up going out with them, that's the end of that's when we close everything up, is on because on the first all the payments are due, and on the second we're going to have our first Zoom meeting in November. So reach out to us, and then the information in about a week, maybe even by the end of this week. I hope to have it done sooner than that. We will have the information on websites that you can go to, and you can see more information. We'll have schedules in there, the links, and give you that opportunity to join us, ask questions, bring people with you. Because I mean, we talk about deals for you bring people with you, and you get a chance to get a free chapter.
4 people. We need 4 people. So if you bring in 4 friends to write with you and they're paying customers, you can get in for free. Yep.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
No, I was just looking at Matt and conversation with Matt and and everybody else. Yes, we do plant trees too, because we are all about community. That's why I need a doer, Matt, not a talker. A lot of people do half baked and talk about it, but half baked. We do what we say we do, because I'm not asking points from cootie points or brownie points from anybody. It's human. My karmic points is up there, so that's where I'm counting my points from. So everything that I do is always to give back to the community. But I am sick and tired of people taking resources and not giving back. So that's why we are restructuring, we are reframing, and we want everybody to really get excited about like writing against the grain. Oh, I can't wait.
Well, and that's I'll um, go back to the cover. When I put that cover together, it has so much meaning to this, because we have a busy city scene with so many people walking around, and the world's just a busy place. People are constantly on the move, focused on technology, lost in their thoughts. Basically, how many of us are in the middle of a city and yet we feel alone? And you can say, oh, I know people online and I can talk with them. It's like, yeah. However, where's the in real life? sometimes those friends in social media, you don't get to interact with them in real life. And even with social media and a lot of that, you're still wearing a mask. How often do you actually connect with somebody through technology and are able to get to the point where you can take off the mask? You can step out of the box, you can be vulnerable and say, go even, it's like, I've been depressed for the past few weeks. I don't know what to do. And the other person, they're there, they're listening, they're safe, they're not judging you, and they're willing to listen and they're willing to talk with you to go through it. That's that's why I have the three women in the middle. And many people can really guess on that one, but those three women in the middle, they're the only ones in that whole picture that belong. They have a safe space for the three of them. They support each other. That's what that image is showing. It's a safe space. They got that deep connection. They trust, and that's really the foundation of belonging. It's trust. And they can tell each other anything and know they won't be judged for it, that they will be supported.
Yeah. And the cutting and pasting and the cutting and was a challenge. I had to cut pieces of hands and feet. And, that's one thing I love about our thing is that we learn from each other. And one thing I love about Sister Susanna is that she's a great follower because she extrapolate and go with it. I give her ideas, I dump it on her, and she's like, "Oh, what am I supposed to do with this?" And give her like 1 to 3 instructions, and boom, she runs with it. And then she's like, "Okay, I'm done. I'm just exhausted now." I'm like, "Okay, let's see what you got." And then she got what it is. It's because I don't want people to give them things and then they don't do nothing with it. And she does. She does it. She goes with it. She really runs with the idea and get into it. And that's how you level up, right? At Level Up Academy, we don't want you to keep coming back of the same problem. We want to empower you, encourage you to be your authentic self, but also leveled up, not da 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 theory. This is what I want to do, CJ. Okay, well, where do you want to go with it? Why do you want to do with it? Right? Then you're like, okay, this is why. Okay, here's your homework and do with it. I want to see people doing something, right? I don't see people as a competition because there's no such thing as competition in my eyes when it comes to strategy on how you do your individual stuff because that's your journey. But you are doing business, like Anthology technically is a competition, but I don't see them as a competitor either because it's a different topic. Besides, we do it better. I'm just saying. And we have our marketing team. Um, and we love helping the community. We love giving back to the community. We're not rich people, guys. Okay. I like discounts. I like free. I'm just saying, right? Um, but at the same time, when you die, you're not going to take all of that crap with you, right? What you take is your heart and your soul. And we want people with soul who wants to help others. So if you want to join our movement, if you want to join our dynamic village, we welcome you. But you need to be true to yourself and not shellfish. Just
Mhm.
saying, I'm a crab, by the way. I'm Cancer, right? I'm a crab. So, but I'm not shellfish. Sister, take it away in terms of we're ending actually soon. Um, can you go over the dates again to make sure?
So the dates we're looking at, everything's going to start on the 1st of October. That's
Mhm.
when we officially open the author's call. And by the 1st, maybe sooner, but by the 1st, everything will be up and ready to go. And we'll be putting it out there for everybody. It's like, pass the word. You know somebody that has gone through this journey, pass the word. Join them. Join us. It's 1 month. That's all we're doing is 1 month for the author's call. Payments are the first, and we do have options too for a down payment and then the rest of it. So
Mhm.
we have both options. If you get the discount, that means you're paying in full. Then you get a discount. If you do a down payment and a final payment. There's no discounts on that. That's just how it is.
You can just talk to us about that. Because
Yeah.
what we put in the website is literally just full payments. And we give you a coupon discount only for our repeat authors, right? So if you've
Right.
written in our anthology in the past 3 anthologies, you'll get a repeat discount. We love giving discounts. And also, we really are more concerned about your story and how it impacts the world. That's what we are concerned about, is the value that you're providing. It's just not nilly-willy, like, oh, it's another anthology. Oh, it's another anthology. It's always each of our anthology is special because it's coming from the world of looking at different things and our experiences and how we're sharing it to the world. And we hope that it resonates with you in the sense of belonging. Like, why do you want to be in the Hounds of Business community? Why are you curious about it? Why do you want to be part of the Dynamic Village at Level Up Academy, right? It's that curiosity because we want to help other people to help themselves, help others. Wow, that's a lot of help words. Yeah.
And but the writing process too. We're not a weekend warrior kind of
No.
writing process, but we are basically 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You gotta remember, the writing's going to happen during the month of November, so y'all's kind of lose that last week for a holiday in the States. We're looking to have everything wrapped up with a final draft by the 23rd of November, and we have a schedule in there. But that first Zoom will bring all the authors together. It's a chance to meet, share stories, and we walk through the whole thing. We walk through what the process, the specifics on how we want the formatting, and get you going. But if you sign up sooner, you can have more time to write.
And we can give you a one-on-one feedback pretty much the whole month of October. If you already have your story framework, you need to submit 300 words because we want to make sure that it goes with our theme. Another thing that I wanted to tell you guys is that podcast circuit right there. It's because we want to amplify. So my authors have the 90 days where they can record their chapter, and I can put it on the 120 plus countries. And that's what makes us different as well. So we are ending, sister. What is your favorite quote? This is mine. There is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you.
The one I love going with is the measure of success is not how well you're doing, how great you do. The measure of success is really how high you bounce after you've hit bottom. And that is from General George S. Patton. And I know so many of us are dealing with that right now. So it just, to me, it fits everything I do, and it's belonging too. I mean, you can think you're successful, but when you hit the bottom,
Who's gonna be there for you? Like, right?
who's
When
going to
you're
help
on
you
the top,
bounce back?
yeah, when you're on the top, everyone wants to be your friend, but also watch out because everyone who wants to be your friend is actually only there for clout, not your heart. And when you're at the bottom, no one sees you because you're a nobody in their eyes. You are somebody. You are amazing. Keep believing. Keep pushing and do not give up, right? It only takes one person to lift you up, literally one person to lift you up and get you where you need to be, but you are need to be willing to be coachable, right? But I'm not a coach, guys. I can't do coaching. I can do mentorship, okay? We do have
Uh-huh.
to end, so thank you guys so much for being here. We appreciate you, and we will see you on Susanna's 9 a.m. Tuesday PST. Mine is Wednesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. PST. And then, of course, our Sunday show is always 7 p.m. PST. Bye, everybody. Tomorrow, a podcast will come out for Level Up everywhere in distribution channels. Bye, guys. See ya.
Bye.